So, if you thought Sony Computer Entertainment didn't have any surprises for you left, well, they are definitely working on something. So, without further ado, let's get into this news. So, I'm going to start off with this news right here. This is courtesy of Sony, and well, this is courtesy of DualShockers, this actual information. But according to this, Sony is looking for a lead character artist for a unannounced game that they're working on. So, this is pretty interesting. Now, we don't know what exactly it is, and what's pretty interesting about the job listing, they're not talking about like them making a new IP, so it could be something that they're building upon. But let's definitely get into the fine print of this, all right? So, here at Sony PlayStation Visual Arts provides world-class content, development, and services to worldwide studios. We offer a full-service production studio with emphasis in art, animation, as well as pre-visualization, character creation, motion capture, software development, face body scanning, tracking, and solving. We are looking for a highly talented, motivated, and creative lead character artist for the next chapter of cinematic storytelling. Here is your chance to be part of our multi-award winning team responsible for the cinematic performances and premier Sony PlayStation franchises like Uncharted, The Last of Us, Killzone, and other iconic series. Our team is always at the cutting edge of technology and partners with the industry's best minds and companies: Naughty Dog, Santa Monica Studios, Guerrilla Games Japan Studios, and other PlayStation first-party studios. This is your opportunity to work closely with game and film industry professionals from all over the world and under one roof. And end quote. So that's what they're looking for. Now, I like how they did this. You know what I'm saying? They kind of left it ambiguous. They didn't really announce, they didn't really talk about it like being a new IP, nor did they talk about it being something that we already know for a fact it's going to be. So it's kind of going to be up in arms. So technically, you guys can go crazy with this one and talk about whatever could it be, you know, and this is pretty cool. This is good. This is one of those things that you can definitely be excited for. So I'm okay with it. You know, I think it's fine. I don't really think it's necessarily old. If it is an old game that they're doing this for, then it's most likely going to be like a sequel to something, like a bigger sequel. One thing is definitely we gotta definitely get out the chest. We can definitely get off the chest is the fact that Uncharted is not done. Uncharted is most certainly not done. The Lost Legacy did so well, but also they kind of left Uncharted 4 on a note that kind of sets up potential sequels if you think about it. Remember, now spoiler alert, this is going to be a massive spoiler. If you have not beaten Uncharted 4, I'm going to probably put a notification in the video to where you can skip to where I'm not spoiling this. But if you haven't really played Uncharted 4 at this point, then I mean, you weren't going to play it to begin with. You know, this is one of those games that's just simply amazing. And I'm surprised, you know, people did not, you know, you probably wouldn't play it. But anyway, according to this, you know, or I'm sorry, going off of that, Uncharted 4 ends with Nathan Drake. You know, he's got a successful life at this point. He's no longer, you know, has this hole in his life where he, you know, because basically at the start of the game, you know, he's given up the life of being a, you know, treasure hunter, and he's kind of settled down to taking a simple job, you know, a simple 9-to-5 sort of like job where he's working for I forgot the name of the company, but he's basically like he's going and looking for like lost ships and stuff like that. So he's doing that type of thing, you know. He's just living a life with his wife. Now, he's never really felt happy because, you know, he misses those crazy adventures. He misses the explosions. He misses all that crazy stuff. So the fact that he does not have that kind of leaves a hole in his life, so to speak. But he does get to rekindle that when his brother comes back to see him. But at the end of the game, after, you know, the fights and all that, after all the chaos is done, his brother gives his wife, you know, some gold coins that he found during the actual last mission of the game, and you don't see it. It happens off screen, and they basically retire with his wife having a insane, you know, plan at the end of the day, where she basically uses that to become, you know, to revive her show. Her show becomes a hit, and they basically live the good life, and they have a beautiful daughter at the end. And that's basically how it ends. But the catch and the hint for sequels with that is the fact that the daughter is 110% just like her father. She's very adventurous. She's more interested in lore. She wants to become, you know, a treasure hunter like Loki, but they try to keep it ambiguous, but she really wants to become that, and that's what they're doing. So that particular thing, you know, I can see them building upon that. And some of you might go, well, Ryan, that might turn into, let's say, Tomb Raider. It definitely would turn into Tomb Raider, but I mean, Tomb Raider right now, and again, this is no offense to anybody who likes Tomb Raider. I love Tomb Raider. I like the first one. Rise of the Tomb Raider didn't really do much for me, and I didn't even bother buying the Shadow of the Tomb Raider. But with Naughty Dog having a female protagonist, and this is definitely, if you think about their track record, this is kind of the route Sony's Naughty Dog's been going for the most part. Remember, they've been focusing heavily on strong female characters. We see Ellie's mom in The Last of Us Part 2. We see Ellie just like this overall beast in gameplay now that we saw from The Last of Us Part 2 as well. But you notice, they built these characters up, or each one of these characters that they're focusing on has had some crazy, like a dope story to come from to really get you involved. And that's what they're doing with a lot of their games at Naughty Dog. They're definitely building a lot of strong, relatable female characters. So I can definitely see them taking that and building upon that. Hell, potentially, if let's say they don't do a Uncharted 4-ish type of game, right? Let's say they don't do it with Nathan Drake's daughter. Let's say they build upon it more with Nadine and Chloe from The Lost Legacy. That's another potential opportunity, because that was definitely well received for one, and it was just really well done. So it's possible. It's most certainly possible. I think they probably would do it. I really do. Now as far as it being a new IP, I mean, there's so many games that they could be making right now. There's so many. Especially if we're talking about, let's say, like a reimagining of a game like, I don't know, Siphon Filter. Remember, Siphon Filter's trademark was renewed. Who's to say they're not remaking the Siphon Filter? You never know. We got Capcom making Resident Evil 2, which has everybody just jumping out the seat. The internet is buzzing. People are so excited for that, and that game does look great. I cannot wait to play that neither. But it's out there. It's the possibilities are out there, and that's what I want to leave. I'm gonna leave that ambiguous. I'm not gonna put no high hopes or anything, bold predictions out there. But I'm just throwing out, potential things that they could be doing for the studio. So that's what my thoughts are on that for sure. Hope you guys, hopefully you guys got something else to add upon that. All right. There's another story here. So this is Sony again, basically rejecting to do multiplayer, from Saber Interactive. Like, Saber Interactive offered multiplayer for Days Gone, and they said no to it. Now, my stance on this is very simple. I think it's pretty obvious why they didn't do it. The reason why they're not doing it is because they don't really see it necessary. They don't dub it as a main thing. Not every single game that Sony comes out with really needs multiplayer, and I don't think it does at all neither. Some games work with multiplayers, others simply do not, and some kind of fall short. They kind of fall short. So I don't really think it's that big of a deal that they wouldn't have multiplayer in something like Days Gone. Plus, if you look at Days Gone, I mean, the game is already pushing the PS4 to its limit. I mean, the first demo we saw, while the zombies, the chaos was happening, the frame rates are down like they were crazy. They had to slow that down a bit now for the frame rate, and obviously to make sure that the system can handle it, right? But there was so many zombies on screen, there was so much chaos. I really don't think a PS4 can handle, or especially a Pro, I don't think they can handle 2 players or 3 players, hell, even 4 players, right? And then all these zombies coming at you and these crazy speeds. I don't think that would work at all, and that's that's due to hardware limitations. PS5, most certainly, I can definitely see them building upon it if they really want to do it for a PS5. And I think the reason why they probably said no to it as well is because they want to see how well the game is received. You think about it, we don't really see a lot of people talking about the story for Days Gone. It's mostly just about how insane the set pieces are. Like with the zombies, we see like the crazy looking bear, we see wolves, we see stuff like that. We don't have any people talking about how many zombies come at you, or I'm sorry, we don't talk about like the story. We don't have them like talking about that sort of thing. A lot of people are kind of ignoring the story, and that's what's pretty the crazy part about it. So that's what I see about Days Gone. I'm hyped for Days Gone. I hope it's great. It looks great. Hopefully it plays great. But that's definitely a game that's on my list, and I cannot wait to play. I think it was in April when it comes out, so that's definitely on the list. But that's all I gotta say on that one. I mean, it's straightforward. We're at the end of the generation, and there's just they pretty much squeezed everything they could out of this generation, and not much else you can say. But to end this, and this definitely gives me even better hope for the PS5 reveal in terms of them just learning from their mistakes and continuing to improve. But according to The Last of Us Part 2 dev, basically, I guess Neil Druckmann, you can say, he basically explained how friendly competition with other Sony studios helps them improve. You know, I do believe that. I do believe that. Even though Microsoft, and again, this isn't one of those videos, but you know, you look at Microsoft this year and then you look at what they've done compared to what Sony did, it's mostly been one-sided. I think we all can pretty much say that. It's been a one-sided year for PlayStation. Nintendo's also come out with quite a few bangers, but it's mostly been a one-sided thing if you want to just not include Nintendo and just include these two, since these two have been out here longer than Nintendo in terms of the console-wise, right? PS4 and all that. So between those two, Sony has just been in the main spotlight. Like, it's been one-sided in that particular degree. So I can see them definitely, I can see why he would say this, because this actually makes sense. Games have gotten better. God of War has been simply amazing, you know, and the fact that it won Game of the Year and everything of that nature and beat out Red Dead 2, which was Rockstar's, like, most anticipated game aside from GTA 5, tells you something. It does tell you something. As consoles evolve, you know, and the specifications that continue to drop, you know, again, specifications, we can go on about them. You know, I can make videos for days on specifications. You already know I have no problem doing them, but some come out that are just like too convenient. Others just feel like, okay, you know, that actually might work, which is why I had to go back on the Xbox one. If you guys missed my video when I talked about the new APU that could potentially be in the streaming Xbox. I mean, it's possible of certain things, but you know, others just like, I don't know, they like kind of, they're just like all over the place, you know, and I didn't really feel like doing that. So, but I do believe that, you know, they're gonna learn and the PS5 and everything will be fine. I think next gen for sure Sony's gonna be fine. It's not gonna be a big deal for how they, you know, how they're gonna go about it at all. I think they're good, you know, just some things, man, just, I don't know, people focus on certain things that are just not really that, you know, relevant, I think is the best way to say it, you know. So it is what it is in that regard, I guess. But yeah, the situation as is though, I mean, next gen is definitely going to be a gen to look forward to. It's definitely going to be a gen to not only look forward to, but it's going to be a gen to look out for. There's so many ways they're trying to incorporate streaming in consoles, and it kind of makes you wonder that even though we know backwards compatibility is most certainly going to be on the mind of Sony and obviously Microsoft, but it makes you wonder what kind of other like ways they will go to, you know, get things done. For example, we know how Sony had an issue with the PlayStation Classic and licensing, which is why a lot of those games did not make the final release, right? Like things of that nature, they didn't make the final release. So I'm wondering if Sony would just rely on streaming to accommodate the backwards compatibility yet again for like PS1 and 2 and 3 games off the bat. Now obviously PS3 games are going to be like that, but you know what I'm saying, I think they'll do that for, you know, it seems like that going in the way things are going. You know, this whole streaming and the way the gaming, I guess you could say the gaming generation is evolving, right? It just feels like that. It feels like more limitations on the hardware, stuff like backwards compatibility, you know, stuff that's built in. It just seems like all that stuff's getting gutted out at the end of the day, and we'll have like other cheap ways of achieving them in the long run. That's just what it really feels like, at least to me. But you know, PS5, again, I got no doubts for PS5 at all. Got no doubts. I think PS5 is gonna be fine. It's gonna be dope for sure. And just anything can be said about, you know, whatever else releases. You know, I think they're gonna be fine. Systems are gonna be powerful. At the end of the day, it's gonna come down to which studios and which particular side learn from the other and actually, you know, double down and release the quality games that truly mattered in the long run. So that's pretty much it though. So thank you guys so much for watching the video. Once again, I gotta say this, Happy New Year to you guys. Thank you guys again for such an incredible 2018. It's just been a blast, you know. I had a blast, and it's been definitely a treat to do this, you know, everything here on the channel. You know, thank you guys so much for everything, and hopefully we have an even bigger year for 2019. All right, thank you guys again. All of you guys enjoy yourselves, y'all have fun, and I'll see you guys in 2019. Man, got so much stuff. I got so much stuff planned, and I'm looking forward to it. All right. You guys be good. Y'all be blessed. Y'all be easy. If you liked the video, hit that like button. If you didn't, hit the dislike. Definitely subscribe to the channel. Hit the bell icon to stay up to date. Without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, I'm out of here. Deuces.